We are talking about our haunted history tours. This year we're offering walking tours and bus tours. So you can do a 1 hour, about 1 mile long walking tour of downtown. There's lots of stops, so it's very easy to walk. Or our bus tour, which takes you a little farther out, including some of the college campuses, and this year we're adding Maple Park Cemetery.
And yeah, just some dates for that. So this weekend is our bus tours. So that's September 30th and October 1st. You can hop on a bus and take the haunted tour. And then for the rest of October, every Friday and Saturday from 5:30 to 6:30, that's when the walking tours are. So this is the Fox Theater. The museum has operated out of this building for the last 5 years or so. So while they were building our wonderful new museum, we were actually exhibiting in this space. It's really cool though because it is a historic theater. So it was built in 1916 as the Electric. There's actually some really cool photos I always like to point out on our tour of when it was the Electric. So it was primarily a vaudeville theater and a movie house. And then unfortunately there was a fire, so the interior was kind of destroyed, redone. We get to go inside on the tour and you get to see a little sneak peek of what that theater currently looks like and when it looked like post the fire. But yeah, there is great, when it reopened, it opened as the Fox. So it was known for showing mostly family movies, including some special Disney runs. So I love to ask our visitors that come on the tour what movies they remember seeing at the Fox. We always have at least one guest who grew up going to movies at the Fox, and I know my dad, he said that he saw the Fox and the Hound at the Fox, and he can always remember that. But yeah, so this is one of the many theaters we talk about. Theaters tend to attract ghost stories, so we have our own that we share about the Fox while we tour it, but we're also on the tour going to see the Landers Theater, which is the oldest still operating theater downtown, as well as the Galois, and then we give a little shout out to the Shrine. It's a little out of walking distance, but you can kind of see it on our tour.
So we have added actually a lot of new stories this year. We partnered with some new businesses on College and Jefferson to really expand the tour a lot and have some new content compared to the previous tours the past few years. But one of the iconic stories that we love to tell is that of Wild Bill Hickok and the shootout on the square. This was the first recorded shootout in the Wild West, and it happened right here. You can actually see the plaque where Davis Tutt and Wild Bill were standing during that shootout. And we give a brief overview of the story that the two were acquainted with each other. They got into an argument and had a poker match that ended with Davis Tutt walking away with Wild Bill's gold pocket watch. And Wild Bill told him, "Don't go showing that around town because it's mine." And some of us are sore winners, and so Davis Tutt was in front of what is now the Hers building, but at that time was the courthouse, showing off the new pocket watch that he had taken from Wild Bill. The two men started yelling at each other. Davis Tutt shot first and missed, and Wild Bill shot from 75 yards, one shot, and killed Davis Tutt. You can also on the tour see some different places where Davis Tutt's body was rumored to have been taken, including an undertaker that is now a bar, or over on Patton Alley, an alleged doctor's office where he may have been taken. Also, if you go on the bus tour this year, you'll get to go to Maple Park Cemetery and see where Davis Tutt is buried, so you really get the whole version of the story from beginning to end that way. The square in downtown Springfield is a huge part of our history and our haunted history tours. Although we don't know of any ghosts that live on the square specifically, it is a great hub for life and death. It's existed for over 100 years and is the oldest part of town. So that's why these stories, like Wild Bill and the shootout on the square, are really important and really come together here on the square. If you guys know of any ghosts on the square, we'd love to hear about it. We're always looking to hear about new ghost stories or history stories that are a little spooky. So be sure to email or call us with any stories that you might have.
So we're in front of the Calaboose, which is the oldest owned and still operated city building in Springfield. It was built in 1891. The word calaboose means jail. So where we're standing right here, in front of us would have been a combination fire station and police station. And yeah, so because this was a jailhouse and it's got quite a spooky dungeon vibe to it, there really are quite a few stories of both crime and ghost stories attached to it, which we love to share on the tour. But for the tours, they are family friendly, so we encourage people of all ages to come out and join us, especially for the walking. It's a great family activity to get out in the nice weather and enjoy some spooky but not quite scary stories, as well as all that really cool history that we like to share.
Another very spooky location that we talk about on our tours is right here on Patton Alley, what is now Zan Nightclub and what was the Patton Alley Pub. It was alleged that there was a doctor's office in that upstairs section during the Civil War, and when some ghost hunters came a few years back, they found that there were over 60 spirits on this alleyway, and it's believed that the different Civil War soldiers would have been taken to that doctor's office and treated and possibly died there, and that's why there's so many spirits attached to this location. When Patton Alley Pub was open, they told us that they experienced some ghost activity over there, cups flying around, unexplained noises, things like that. So this is another great stop that we'll see on our tour.
So we end our tour here in front of the historic Woodruff building right behind me, as well as the Galois Theater, our final historic theater of the night. If you want to join us on one of these tours that are running all the way through October, our tickets are for sale on our website. You can call us over the phone at 417-831-1976, or you can come into the museum and purchase a ticket in person. We're so glad to have you, so you can join us on a really fun walk. The History Museum's Haunted Tours are one of our big fundraisers of the year. All the profits from ticket sales go to support the museum as a 501c3 nonprofit. We really appreciate our community support, and everyone that comes out seems to have a really great time. So please join us.